Hi there. I want to show you how to make this really yummy cranberry sauce. And it's not like a traditional cranberry sauce, which is just sugar, water, and cranberries. This one has a lot of other ingredients in it, which really gives a nice combination of flavors. It's also a great example of a prebiotic and probiotic recipe. So what we have here is we have a generous cup of cranberries. We have a green apple with the peel left on, and they're chopped into little tiny pieces. And we, of course, cord the apple. And we have about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of chopped red onions. We have half a cup of chopped sauerkraut. We have half a tablespoon of butter. We have a 1/4 cup of yellow brown sugar. You could also use sucanat, or you could use coconut sweetener or maple syrup as well. We're going to use a teaspoon of dried thyme. We have sea salt and pepper to taste. We also have half a cup of broth. You could use chicken or vegetable. And we have some apple cider vinegar, and we're going to use about a teaspoon of that. In terms of our probiotic and prebiotic, it's pretty straightforward. The apples, the cranberries, and the red onions are all prebiotic, and the sauerkraut and the apple cider vinegar are probiotic. And of course, the thyme will help with digestion because it's just a really good herb for aiding digestion. Okay, so there's not much to this, and it doesn't take very long. So we just put our pot on the stove, and we start. We're going to put the butter in first. And we're going to add our onions. So we're going to let the onions start to cook a bit in the butter. Give them a head start. And then we're going to add the apples. Now when you're getting everything ready, prepare the apples last so that they don't turn brown. Not that it's a big deal if they do, but it's just nicer if they don't. And you can use white onions if you like. I just think the red onions are nicer with the apple and the cranberry. They just look nicer. And when you're cooking onions, because we didn't use a lot of fat here, you want to make sure that you move them around so that they don't stick and they don't burn. I'm doing this over medium-high heat, so it's not going to take very long. And you just want to see some evidence that the onions are starting to cook. They're going to further cook when we add the other ingredients. So it doesn't all have to be done now. Okay, so if we look at this piece of onion here, it's starting to get a little translucent. So now we can add the chicken broth. And we can add the cranberries. Now I am using frozen cranberries. You could use fresh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take very long either one you use. And I'm going to add the sugar now. So the thickening power for this comes from whatever sweetener that you use. So it's important that you use the right type of sweetener. That's why the options of the coconut sweetener, the sucanat, the yellow brown sugar, or maple syrup are probably your best choices for thickening, or you could use organic sugar too, but I like the yellow brown. I like the molasses in it that gives it better flavor. We're also going to add our teaspoon of thyme. And again, if you wanted to, you could use sage, you could use oregano. It doesn't really matter, they all would work very nicely in this. And so what you want to do now is bring this to a boil. I'm just going to turn the heat up a little higher so that it boils faster. And one of the, oh, I don't know if you just heard that, one of the cranberries just popped. So one of the things about cooking cranberries is as these cranberries are breaking down, they pop. And so that gives you a clue that you're getting some cooking accomplished here. So the total time for this is going to be about, it might take 5 minutes, it might take 10, depends on what temperature you have it at. I just wanted to have it on high heat to bring it to a boil, so then I lower it back down to medium heat because that'll just give everything a little bit more time to cook. And so that can change the amount of time that it takes for this to be ready. But it's going to be between about 5 and 10 minutes. It doesn't take long for the sugar to make it thicken up. Now you'll notice we have not added the sauerkraut or the apple cider vinegar. We're going to add those at the end. Okay, so you can see that it's just simmering nicely. So we'll leave it like that for now, and I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll come back when it's almost ready. Okay, so it's been about 3-4 minutes, and I just want to show you that how much it's thickening up. And the way you test how it's thickening up is you get some of the liquid on a spoon, and you turn the spoon upside down, and when it starts to thicken as it drops, so I'll try to do that again so you can see this. So you drop it from the spoon, you get most of that off, and then but if you see the last drops, you see how they're thick, because they're thickening as they cool because I'm dropping it from the spoon. That gives you an idea that this is now thick enough to be a sauce. If you keep doing, if you cook it longer, of course it's going to get thicker. See how thick the drop is? Try it again. See, it's hard to get the juice without getting the onions. There we go. Okay. So the faster it runs off, when you just have a little bit there, the thinner it is. So you can see it's really dripping slowly. Okay, so once it's reached the thickness that you're looking for, then you turn it off, and then you're going to transfer it to a bowl. Sorry, don't know where to put the pot. Okay, so now we have this beautiful, lovely red cranberry sauce. And this is when you're going to add the sauerkraut. And you're also going to add a teaspoon of vinegar. And you don't have to add the vinegar. It just gives it a nice little sharper taste. And then once the sauerkraut is in, then you season with sea salt and pepper, because remember the sauerkraut already has a salty taste to it, so you don't necessarily need a lot of salt. And then you're going to put your pepper in. And there you have it. This is a really, really nice option for cranberry sauce, and you can use it anywhere that you serve cranberry sauce. I hope you give this a try. It's really delicious. I like it a lot, and it has a lot of different flavors. You'll notice that I chopped up the sauerkraut. That's to give it more of an even dispersion so that you get little bits of zingy taste to it when you have a bite. It's really, really tasty.